Hey, good morning, or this afternoon at this point. Not that you care. Anyway, I was gonna do a video to show you guys how I magnetize my infantry models. It's pretty straightforward little process. This is one of my unit champions. If you look close enough, he's got a little mark of corn on his head, so he's actually supposed to be leading some berserkers that I made. But you know, I've just put magnets in them, you know, like this. All of my unit champions I've decided to put magnets in like this, just because you know times change, rules change, different weapons are more effective, and you know, just like this, I guess this recent update they've had, like the Thunderhammer and the Power Fist stats have changed a little bit to reflect more effective AP or something. I'm not too sure, but I mean this stuff happens throughout the course of 40k. And here's another one that I've done. This is my Chaos Sword that, you know, I kind of kit bashed together with a bunch of different kits. I had to carve on him and stuff to get him, you know, to where I could actually put magnets on him. But, you know, I mean, this, we can also do the back. So this is in case I want to put a jump pack on him, which I have elsewhere, you know. Just problem is you end up having like a ton of like loose bits floating around, but there's a system that you can for a storage system you can do to kind of fix that. You know, get a piece of metal and glue it to something, and you can stick all these things to this piece of metal. I'm actually planning on using like a kind of a maybe like a cake box with like a metal cake pan box, and just put magnets on the bottom of all my guys and just like pop, 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 and they're all stuck and they're fine. They're not gonna move around. That's how I'm planning on doing it. Anyway, so how to magnetize? Well, you're gonna get these magnets here. These are probably some of the best magnets that I've ever used. They're really strong. The size is great for all infantry, at least power armor infantry. I haven't ever really tried to magnetize anything but power armor, but I mean, why would you? As far as I can tell, like most armies have not as extensive options. I mean, unit champions always have a lot of options, but you know, Eldar, you know, I would not even try. It's insanity. But these are good magnets. I actually got these from a store that I go to here locally. I say locally, it's about 60 miles from here. It's called Texas Toy Soldier. It's probably like the best like war game store in Texas. If you have a chance to go there, they offer a niche discount, and just really cool staff. Good place. They have a lot of tables. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pin vise and we're gonna get our little drill bit set, you know, that we use, that I use. I don't know what the hell you use, but I dropped it. Where'd it go? All right, so we're gonna take our 132 drill, 1/32 drill bit, you know, little guy, and we're just making a pilot hole at this point. So what this guy is actually a unit champion for what do they call them, Havocs and Chaos, kind of like a Devastator unit. All the big guns, heavy weapons. Now I've got enough models built to field two separate loadouts for them. One is the Reaper chain cannon that I did some shenanigans to get those models together, because you know they only put one Reaper chain cannon in the kit. When you buy a kit with 5 models for, I think it's like $50. If you buy it, you know, retail, it's probably maybe closer to 60. But it, you know, your friendly local game store with, you know, might have some, you know, 10% discount. You might be able to pick it up for like 45. But anyway, you get 5 models in the kit, and you get 2 of everything except the Reaper chain cannon, which the Reaper chain cannon, it does like, I think it does like 8 shots at 24-inch range. So you get, you know, you get 4 of those in a unit, plus maybe like a combi bolter on the unit champion. You're looking at something like, it's like 42 shots or something like that with that loadout. I can't remember exactly, but it's a heck of a load of dice to throw. While it's not the greatest. You know, weight of dice is always good. If you can throw down 40 dice, you're gonna kill something. Anyway, so yeah, this is a Reaper chain cannon. This is a one model that it comes with. And the other one unit I've got set up was before they were announcing rules for, you know, they changed the rules on the bolters where the bolters get more AP and stuff like that. I had built the other unit as missile launchers, because missile launchers have always seemed a versatile choice, you know, with the anti-armor and anti-infantry. Then they changed it to where you got to roll, and it's like a flat 3 per rocket on a horde. If it's a unit's larger than 10, then it does X more damage, and then it's just like, well, the natural solution is everybody's going to take small units. So okay, great. So I kind of regret that now, but again, the rules change for weapons and stuff all the time, so it's something you're just gonna have to deal with. Okay, so now that we've got our pilot holes in our body, right here, and right there, you don't have to do this, but I like to do this just to make it, because I mean these holes I've got, they're pretty good, they're pretty solid, they're pretty in the center, and that's good. Well, I mean it's not like totally important to get it like right in the center, but it just helps, you know. It makes you feel good when you get it right in the middle like that. I like to take some other drill bits and kind of, you know, widen up the pilot hole a little bit, just to make it easier to get it nice and flush. Oh, I want to say flush, like right in the middle, because I mean there are times, like, I don't know, like when I've done this before, I mean where, you know, you blow out like the back of the armor, and it's fine. Like once you get the magnet in the arm and put it on there, you can't really tell the difference. Also, one thing I am going to also add is, like, this guy was already put together and built, you know, glued together a long time ago, and it's just set in a little, you know, bin box for a while because I just haven't got around to it. I've built the entire freaking army at this point. I'm just working on some small bits and bobs before I start finishing painting. Anyhow, this is kind of ranty, but yeah, this guy was already glued together. You want to, when you glue these bodies together right here, you want to make sure they have a long time to cure, so they're nice and solid, because if you start trying to drill it, it's gonna break, you know, and it's gonna come apart as you're trying to drill, and it's not gonna be helpful. But so I've got my pilot hole a little widened here. Now, you know, a lot of people tell you not to do this, but I like to do it this way, so to hell with them. I use my drill, and this is the same, like 1/8 of an inch, whatever the hell you want to call that, drill bit, and I just put it on the drill, and very carefully, because you can like stab yourself in the face with doing this. You just want to, you know, get the point, put the point of the drill bit like right in the center, and you want to grab a hold of the body in such a way that it's not going to flail around, because, you know, it might snag, and you just want to go really slow. Yeah. And then we broke through. Okay, so we got a hole there. All right, can you see that? All right, other side, same thing. We got our little pilot hole. Real slow, real easy, not a big deal. Boom. All right, now that's gonna create your holes that you need. One thing I started doing when I do this is I like to do a bit of green stuff inside the body, just to stabilize the magnet. I mean, you know, you're gonna have these guys for God knows how long, so you may as well do it to where it's nice and secure, right? Okay. Now, before we go forward on this, what we want to do, we want to check it out, make sure it's working all right. See, okay, we can kind of get, it's not quite working there, not wanting to go in, so we might widen it up a little bit. Same over here. Get in there. So we'll take the drill and we'll just stick it in there. Rotate it a little bit. Widen that hole just a little bit so we can get our magnet to slide in there nice and easy. All right. All right, so now I've said 1,000 times before that whenever you're doing magnetization, it's good to start with a template. And what we're gonna do here to make sure that all of our magnets are, you know, going in the same polarity, we're gonna use this guy. he's already been magnetized. We're gonna take, I like to try to put 2 magnets on each side inside the body, because that just means that, you know, it's a stronger hold whenever, you know, you're taking weapons and putting them on there and stuff. So what we're gonna do is we got 2 magnets on here, the power fist, you can see. So we're just gonna slide it on there. Oh, look at that. Looks like that's gonna work out just nicely. Okay. Let me take the other one, which is Ellen Ripley pattern combi flamer that I created. There we go. Looks good. That's gonna work. All right. So now we take our little green stuff blob, our Gorilla Super Glue, just a little dab, and like at this point you don't really have to worry about this stuff being pretty, because when you build this shit, it's going to, you know, it's going to be hidden through the magnets. So now that we've got our green stuff there, and everything else, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another hobby knife. This is my glue knife, I like to call it, because I will take this guy and I will scrape these magnets onto it. Now we know that this side needs to go into the model. So we've got our green stuff. We're just gonna cake these suckers in glue, just like that. I'm gonna go over here and we just kind of push them in there, just like that. And the green stuff will hold it. And it's good. We got a bunch of glue in there. That's gonna dry eventually. Perfect. You can't ask for a better magnetizing job than that. Just boop. Other side, same thing. We're gonna use our special little template guy. We're gonna scrape our magnets onto this knife. We know that it's where we know that the polarity is gonna match, and you know, you're working with metal and magnets, so this stuff's gonna happen. So, come on, guy. Work with me here. All right. With that set up, green stuff. Yeah. Little glue right here. There we go. Cram that on there. Yeah. See, I mean, we're talking about chaos here, so having this green stuff blobs everywhere, it doesn't really matter. It actually kind of helps the aesthetic. So whatever, dude. Green stuff, super glue. And there we go. Doesn't want to go for some reason. There we go. Yeah, things get snagged. Side there especially. There's a lot of stuff going on. Just, you know, it's not, I don't even remember putting this thing together, but I'm sure there's some crap going on there. So now we have a body that we can put weapons on and change. And this is actually, like I said, this is the Unit Champion model from the Havoc's kit, and it's such a sweet looking model. I mean, it almost is a shame to just make it a Unit Champion. I know a lot of people are using them to make Chaos Lords and Sorcerers and stuff like that, but yeah. Alright, so the body's done. Now, you know, looking at the options on this Havoc Champion, whatever you want to call him, you know, he's got a chain sword and a bolter to start with. Now, being as he's a long-range model, I don't think I'm going to give him anything too special, but it doesn't hurt to have a couple of chain swords that you can throw on some models. When, you know, as of right now, I've got somewhere between 8 and 9. I think this guy actually makes 9, or maybe even 10 models that are magnetized. And you think that's kind of crazy, but I mean, really, at this point, you know, why the heck not? Because I mean, you have with this Chaos Army, your unit champions are going to have all the special weapon options. I mean, and then you're going to have your stock troops that are, you know, they have, you know, 1 or 2 special weapon, and we can, you know, talk about that later. So with this weapon arm, it's kind of just the same principle, but you know, you're going to have to go into this a little bit. Yeah, so get your pilot hole, and so anyway, blah 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 blah. My mind goes so fast, and I'm just start yammering. But I just want to give him a chainsword, so do that. Pilot hole. You just go slow. You're not using your drill for pressure. You're pushing the bit onto the drill bit, and you're just going very gently. You just had to go back, go in reverse, and then I'll clear it all off. So that beautiful hole that we're creating, it's gonna work out nicely. And if you go too deep, you know, you can always test fit, and you know, if you gotta put a little smidge of green stuff in there, or plastic putty, or whatever you're deciding to use for that, you know, go for it. All right, so test it out, see how it's looking. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. Okay, and super glue. Don't really need to use green stuff on these unless you screw it up. A little drop of super glue in there. And then we want to go back to our, remember, you've got magnets that you can use to help with your decision making on, you know, placing them in the body so you don't screw up. Really easy to do. Now, just got our glue in there, and he's set. One thing I'll say about putting magnets and using the knife like the way I do, you gotta be careful, because sometimes the magnet will attach itself to the knife as you move it aside, and then it'll flip it, so then you'll immediately try to put it back in, and you know, then you've got problems. So, all right, we've got our chainsword for our little dude here, and the body is done. Now I can finish building the model, and need to come up with a combi bolter, because I'm going to put a combi bolter on this guy, because that'll give him 4 shots instead of 2. And I'm going to put him with the Reaper chain cannons. Like I said, that ends up being like 46 shots or something like that with everything. But as far as that stuff goes, like with the Devastators or Havocs, they decided they were going to mount them on 40mm bases this time around with their kit. In their rules, they require 40mm bases. Old school, they used to have like the 23, 28mm bases, and all of the Marines were on the same base, and you could just kind of, you know, you had your heavy weapon guys, and you had your, you know, your regular troops were all on the same base, so you could just kind of splatter them in, and okay, well, I've got 8 missile launchers, I got 2 units of missile launchers that I can throw together. But you know, they've changed that. You know, it was a marketing decision that they made to make you have to buy more models. But this is a secret. What we're gonna do is we're gonna, when we buy our, you know, Havocs, you know, our $50 Havoc kit, when we go down to the game store and we, you know, go get 5 models to, you know, have Havocs, we're also gonna buy some extra 40mm bases. And then we're gonna go cannibalize some regular Chaos Marines, like this Reaper chain cannon. I made this with this bit, which came off of the Obliterator from the Start Collecting kit. Has this little chain cannon bit like right over its head. Just cut that off, put it on a heavy bolter arms from the regular Chaos Marine kit, and then have a Reaper chain cannon. Because like I said, was saying earlier in my ramblings, that there's only 1 of these in the kit, and you want to have 4. So this is just a regular Chaos Marine body with my shenanigans here for, you know, this Reaper chain cannon, and he's on a 32mm base. This is what the standard Marines are going on these days. And, you know, I can use this guy and, you know, a 5-man squad of Chaos Marines, and he can be the heavy weapon guy, you know. But if I want to, you know, make him part of a unit of Havocs, I have this 40mm base with a little tiny magnet in the middle. You know, it's got the hole in the bottom of it already, so that's great. You just tuck it in there with some green stuff, and you use some green stuff to place a magnet on the bottom of this guy, and boom. I think there's a spacing issue there. I might have to put some more green stuff on or something to make it more secure, but now he's a Havoc, and he can fit in the unit with these 40mm base guys. You know, there are going to be people that are like, oh, that's lame or whatever. It's modeling for advantage. Just tell them to get bent, because, you know, why not? And that was just some more advice. Now that I've made a 20 freaking minute video on how to magnetize stuff, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. All right, you guys, take care.